what's going on, Kid Zone leaders? Very excited about getting things started for this year. I thought last night was great. We had a great turnout, a lot of big groups, and the ice cream party was a blast. Hopefully, you were able to make some good connections with your kids. I know you had a very brief amount of time with them, but just being able to meet them and get connected with the other leaders on your team. Hopefully, that was a really good experience, and you guys are ready to get started with our normal programming starting next week. Couple of reminders. Wanted to just kind of bring things back to our primary vision. We want every child to be able to make a full commitment to Jesus and be a lifelong follower. So our vision statement is that we want to reach the one and equip them to follow Jesus. We want that for every child. And remember, we want every child to, number one, accept Jesus into their life, to give their hearts over to them. And number two, we want them to learn to follow Jesus and start to develop that godly character in their life. Number three, we want them to learn and understand the unique calling that God has in their life, that He has a purpose for them. We want to equip them to do that. And then number four, we want to eventually release them to do those things. So keep that in mind for every individual child. Every one of your kids in your group is going to be in a different place. Some of them have been in church for many years. Some of them are going to be new to church. And some of them are going to be rough around the edges. Some of them are going to be very refined. But your role as a small group leader and working with the kids in your group is to figure out where they are and help them get one step closer to Jesus. So keep that in mind. This is exciting to be able to launch a new year. We always get lots of new families that are getting connected over the summer, and they get plugged in here. So you'll have a lot of kids all over the map as far as their spiritual maturity and development, and it's your job to figure out where they are and help them take that next step to get closer to Jesus. A couple of practical things that I want to just review with you. When we have all the kids coming in, when we start taking kids at 6:30, we lock all of the doors around the gym. We want to make sure that we maintain all of those locked doors. That's just one of our safety things. I know we have a lot of new leaders getting involved this year, but that's one of the key things that we do to make sure everybody's safe. So let's keep all those doors locked. Another thing that is just a practical piece, when we go upstairs to the second floor, we actually lock that. Once you get into the stairwell, we lock that door. But we've not yet been able to give everybody their keys. So at least one person in every group that is going to be going up upstairs, those four groups that are meeting up here, we'll make sure there's one person in every group that has a key to be able to unlock that door, but also lock it when you leave, because that's a key piece to maintaining our secure boundaries. And just a practical tip, one thing we want to make sure we do when we go up to our groups and come back down to our groups, you should always have one person, whether it's the primary leader or one of the assistants leading the group up, that's taking the front of the train, and all the kids would remain behind them. And then there also should be somebody in the very back. So you kind of sandwich all the kids together. We don't want any kids running ahead of everybody, but we also don't want kids way behind. So that way we have the ability to supervise everybody when they're going up to the groups, because that can be one of the biggest times of risk as far as a kid wandering off or going to the wrong location. So let's make sure we do that. We have plenty of leaders. Each of our groups has 3, 4, sometimes even 5 leaders. So let's make sure we sandwich the kids in between some leaders, and if you have enough people, put a few people in between. So just some practical tips there. Looking forward to a great week next week, where we actually have a full time of small groups. You should have all the curriculum and resources that you need. If you need anything, please talk to Pastor Sarah and myself. We'll make sure we get you all set up. Final thing you'll want to do is make sure between now and next week you download that app and become familiar with it, because it's called the Parent Q app. And if you don't personally have kids, you can set up a fake child in your age group just to be able to view everything, because that's the primary thing that we want to send all of our kids to. As far as training kids to live their life for Jesus, that's our primary tool. They're going to be watching videos of Bible stories. They're memorizing verses. They're memorizing the key point of the day, and they have some family activities. This is a key piece that we want every kid to participate with. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to a great year, and I'll see you all on Wednesday.